want to start with a question for each of the five witnesses. In your judgment, are voter ID laws racist? Professor Tolson.
Thank you for that question. So it depends. One thing we have to stop doing is treating all voter ID laws as the same.
Okay, so your answer, I want to move quickly, so it depends is your answer?
Yes, that's my answer.
Okay, so what voter ID laws are racist?
Apologies, Mr. Cruz, your state of Texas, perhaps?
Your proud service as an election worker took a dramatic turn on the day that Rudy Giuliani publicized a video of you and your mother counting ballots on election night. President Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and others claimed on the basis of this video that you and your mother were somehow involved in a plot to kick out observers, bring suitcases of false ballots for Biden into the arena, and then run them through the machines multiple times.
Of Ruby Freeman and Shay Freeman Moss and one other gentleman, quite obviously, surreptitiously passing around USB ports as if they're vials of heroin or cocaine. Should have been questioned already. Their places of work, their homes should have been searched for evidence of ballots, for evidence of USB ports.
What was your mom actually handing you on that video?
A ginger mint. I went to the Facebook app, and I'm just kind of panicky at this point because this has never happened to me, and my mom is involved. A lot of threats, wishing death upon me, telling me that I'll be in jail with my mother, and saying things like, "Be glad it's 2020 and not 1920." I felt like it was all my fault. Like, if I would have never decided to be an elections worker, like, I could have done anything else, but that's what I decided to do. And now people are lying and spreading rumors and lies and attacking my mom. I felt so bad.
I knew that I did not want this story about virulent anti-black racism to be centered on an angry white dad.
There's nothing you can do to control him. Parece changuito. He's kind of like a little white kid, which I was like, this kid needs a beat down. Like, let me take him around the corner and then I'll bring him back.
I am still trying to wrap my head around everything that was said and everything that is happening. My husband and I are both raw and angry and heartbroken and sick for our family and for Los Angeles. These people stabbed us and shot us and cut the spirit of Los Angeles. I know I can never really know or comprehend or feel the weight of the daily relentless racism, anti-black racism that my son is going to face. But man, I know the fire that you feel when someone tries to destroy Black Boy Joy. Man, it's a rage. People should not ask me for forgiveness because I can't forgive them because it's not my prerogative. It's the prerogative of a boy who is too young to really understand what the hell is going on.
And I don't think the senator is ignorant of the fact that for centuries in this country, white supremacy has thrived on using fear to justify oppression, discrimination, and violence against people of color. I do, however, think my colleague may be ignorant of the pain caused by his comments and unaware of how they compound the trauma that so many still feel in the wake of the events of January 6th. We in the Senate take pride in our decorum and our sense of comedy with each other. So much that we often twist ourselves into pretzels to avoid saying anything that might be interpreted as a criticism of another senator. Yet there comes a time when these verbal gymnastics simply won't do. You're either going to speak the truth or fail to do justice to the values you hold dear. What one of our colleagues said last week about the events of January 6th was felt by many to be racist and hurtful, a stain on the office he is so fortunate to hold. Look, I get no one likes to be called racist. But sometimes there's just no other way to describe the use of bigoted tropes that for generations have threatened black lives by stoking white fear of African Americans and black men in particular. On a radio show, our colleague explained that he never feared for his safety during the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. But make no mistake, under different circumstances, he would have been afraid. He said, and I quote, "Now, had the tables been turned," now, Joe, this will get me in trouble, "had the tables been turned and President Trump won the election and those were tens of thousands of Black Lives Matter and Antifa protesters, I might have been a little concerned." Is that not racism, Mr. President?
Okay, so what voter ID laws are racist?
Apologies, Mr. Cruz, your state of Texas, perhaps?
Okay, so you think the entire state of Texas is racist. What about requiring an ID to vote is racist?
So I think, sir, that's pretty reductive. I'm not saying the entire state of Texas is racist.
You just
but
said my state of Texas, so you tell me,
Your
what
voter
about
I-
the Texas voter ID laws is
absolutely.
racist?
So the fact that the voter ID law was put into place to diminish the political power of Latinos with racist intent and had been found to have
You're
racist
asserting that.
intent,
What's your evidence for that?
the federal district court that first resolved the constitutionality of Texas's voter ID law.
Okay, so your view is voter ID laws are racist. How about you, Mr. Yang?
I agree with Professor Tulsa. Voter ID laws can be racist.
Okay,
in
that's
other
two.
contexts.
Mr. Science?
There are some voter ID laws that are racially discriminatory in intent.